Okay, story number 2. This is messed up. So you guys remember some weeks ago we covered the QAnon cult in Dallas. This article will go over it briefly, but just a quick refresher from my own perspective. There was a guy who was a QAnon influencer on the internet, on Telegram, I believe, and he convinced many of his followers to come to Dallas because on a certain day he claimed that JFK and JFK Jr. were going to return from the dead, show that they had faked their own deaths, and that JFK was going to anoint Donald Trump as the real president of the United States on the same street that he was supposedly shot to death on, back in the day. Very crazy, obviously. So they all showed up that day. Nothing happened. Of course, JFK and JFK Jr. are dead. They stuck around, at least a good portion of them, and they formed a little cult, basically. And now this cult is... How do I put this? They're drinking poison. So things have escalated. Let's take a look at the article. The family of a Dallas QAnon cult member is sounding the alarm. Multiple members of the Leak family confirmed that their relative, who left her husband and children behind in Delaware to follow a fringe QAnon cult leader to Dallas last month, has been drinking a chemical cocktail containing chlorine dioxide, an industrial disinfectant, along with other substances. Their relative has been drinking this cocktail alongside her fellow cult members and has been the one to mix it up and distribute it amongst the group as well, say family, who have declined to reveal the name of their relative in the group. Quote, "She was proud to tell us she was the one mixing it up and giving it to everybody," a family member said. Chlorine dioxide is a chemical similar to bleach. It's dangerous to ingest in significant quantities. In April 2020, barely a month after the pandemic hit the U.S., the FDA issued a press release warning people against using chlorine dioxide-based products to fight COVID-19. Still, people posing as medical professionals continue to sell chlorine dioxide-based products online. They found an especially eager consumer base amongst QAnon followers who think that the COVID-19 vaccine is part of a malicious government conspiracy. Lady Necker with 45-bit says Ollie looks very vigilant for bullshit. He does. It's unclear why the group is drinking a chemical potion, as many believe the coronavirus, which has killed over 800,000 people in the U.S. and millions worldwide so far, is a government fabrication. Michael Brian Protzman, the leader of the Dallas cult, couldn't be reached for comment. News of the chemical punch bowl comes as the cult appears to be building towards another predicted climactic and apocalyptic moment. Hydrate. They first came to Dallas over a month ago, following Protzman's prediction that President JFK would appear at the exact spot in downtown Dallas where he was assassinated in 1963. From there, Kennedy would set in motion the execution of QAnon's supposed underground network of liberal, Satan-worshipping child sex traffickers and reinstate Donald Trump as president. After Kennedy no-showed at the 2 predicted appearances in November, dozens of Protzman's followers remained in Dallas. It's unclear what they're waiting for or what Protzman has planned next. The chemical cocktail is a bad sign. Tucker White with 45-bit says, "Can you imagine being a historian far off in the future, having to contextualize a time period which gave rise to this?" Honestly, I think it'll probably be simpler for them than it is for us. I think distance helps. It's kind of hard to view something when you're inside of it, When you can step back in hindsight, it's often easier to contextualize things. Dead celebrity is still alive on the bingo card? Correctamundo. "This feels like a progression," said Mike Rothschild, whose book, The Storm is Upon Us, documents the rise of the QAnon movement. Quote, "It immediately evokes images of Jonestown and Heaven's Gate. More than 900 people, many of them children, died in a mass murder-suicide at Jonestown Commune in Guyana in 1978. 39 followers of the Heaven's Gate cult died in a mass suicide outside of San Diego in 1997. Neither the Dallas Police Department nor the FBI field office in Dallas could be reached for comment. Dallas PD has previously said they have limited contact with the group. Quote, "A group of people in a cult drinking a communal substance is definitely not something to mess around with and is extremely concerning," Rothschild said. So that's just a quick update on the Q cult in Dallas. They're now drinking stuff that you're not meant to drink. Stuff that is not potable. Not good. So I guess we'll see if that continues to escalate in the future.